Welcome to Academic Gain Tutorials. In this video, we will look into the differences between centralization and decentralization. Centralization and decentralization are the two types of structures that can be found in the organization, government, management, and even in purchasing. Centralization of authority means the power of planning and decision-making are exclusively in the hands of top management. It alludes to the concentration of all the powers at the apex level. On the other hand, decentralization refers to the dissemination of powers by the top management to the middle or low-level management. It is the delegation of authority at all the levels of management. So, let's look into the basic differences between centralization and decentralization in a tabular form. Difference number 1. The retention of powers and authority with respect to planning and decisions, with the top management, is known as centralization, whereas the dissemination of authority, responsibility and accountability to the various management levels is known as decentralization. Number 2. Centralization is the systematic and consistent concentration of authority at central points, unlike decentralization is the systematic delegation of authority in an organization. Number 3. In centralization, the communication flow is vertical, whereas, in decentralization, the communication flow is open and free, so, formal communication exists in the centralized organization. Conversely, in decentralization, communication stretches in all directions. Number 4. In centralization, the decision-making process is slow, whereas, in decentralization, the decision-making process is comparatively faster. Number 5. There are full leadership and coordination in centralization, whereas decentralization shares the burden of the top-level managers. Number 6. In centralization, the power of decision-making lies with the top management, whereas, in decentralization, multiple persons have the power of decision-making. Number 7. Centralization is implemented when inadequate control over the organization, whereas decentralization is implemented to gain considerable control over the organization. And, difference number 8, centralization is best for a small-sized organization, but the large-sized organization should practice decentralization.